This is Brian from the Savage Board Gaming Channel. I'm just going to go over a new game on BGA. It's been out since 2024, but it's just arrived on BGA called Undergrove. So let me go ahead and get started here. So this is a game about trees and mushrooms helping each other, basically. I'll try to go through the rules real quick. On your turn, you can do one of these actions. There's activate, right, which lets you use a power on the mushroom, and I'll explain that in a second. Absorb, which there'll be carbon on the board. See these ones? They're carbon. You can absorb them into a seedling, which will start making it into a bigger tree. Like, it takes 3 steps to make it a complete tree. Reproduce is putting out a new seedling and a root from the seedling, because there's roots in this game. Partner lets you put out multiple roots, and that's R-O-O-T, not R-O-U-T-E. It's roots, as in a tree root. And then photosynthesis lets you gain carbon. And you can trade in nitrogen for carbon also. So, when we start the game, we'll each put a seedling out. And we only have so many of these. So we have 18 seedlings. I'm sorry, not 18. 6 seedlings. 18 roots, 4 trees. All right? Let's get going here. We'll go through the first few moves. I'm going second, I think, here. So I am green. My opponent is brown. So you see, put the brown seedling, and the root has to go into this first one on the first turn. This is almost like a setup turn, basically, for the game. I chose this one, and these two will be blacked out. Nobody can put seeds there because it's a 2-player game right now. You can play with more people, but the 2-player blocks these off. So we'll go through the different actions as they pop up, and then hopefully you'll understand how to play the game. I played 4 games of this. This is my last game of it. I finally got a hang on some strategies of how to do things. So we'll see what my opponent's going to do first. They're doing an absorb action. So an absorb action is pulling a carbon into a tree. Now, if it's on the spot where your root is, it's free to do. But if not, you have to pay a resource to drag it from somewhere else. I would not absorb on the first turn, but that's what my opponent did. And I'll explain how this works. Maybe, if it goes here. Hopefully this isn't broken. Okay, so he pulled this carbon down to here. I don't think you actually need a root to absorb. I'm still like I said, I played about 4 games of it so far, so I don't think you need a root to absorb from one of the spaces around it. What the roots do is let you score on that card. Each card is worth points equal to the pine cones on them. So if you have a root touching it, you'll score that mushroom at the end of the game. Okay, on my turn, so that's how absorb works. You can just pull a carbon into your tree. Once there's 3, it turns it into your seedling. Once there's 3 on it, it turns into a tree. So my turn, I chose activation. So what activation is, I can choose one of these mushrooms. You'll see in that green box on the right hand side of the card, you have to spend one of your tokens, which are down here. So this needs the tall mushroom token and a carbon, and then I get those resources. So I'll get a what are these called? I forget. Potassium, I think this is what a P is, and nitrate. And if I had flipped over in this one, it would turn it back over. So it gives me another chance to use this token, but it's not. I needed these to start doing things, basically. Okay, I'm choosing a resource. Oh, I chose the absorb also. So I switched my thing up. I decided to absorb. So I absorbed from this one next to me. So, and I'll explain how more carbon gets on these cards. Okay, my opponent, Mr. Meyer, is doing the partner action. So partner action is this. Spend 2, I forget what K is. I forget what K is. I forget what it is. I'm sorry. What it stands for, but you have to pay 2 of them to do this action. On top of it, if you pay a resource that's not carbon, so if he pays these and pays a nitrate, he can play a mushroom from his hand. So these are my mushrooms right now. So that's what he's probably going to do. He's going to do all that stuff. He's going to play a mushroom. So it's in a grid. This one gives you 4 victory points if you're connected to it. Let's go put a root to it. Of course, that's a big score. And then this one. So before we go any further, let me explain. I think this is the absorb track. So the absorb track is this. So every time you absorb, you move 1 space on this track. And you get the bonus connected to it. So we both got nitrate or nitrogen. So next time we'll get a bonus tile, which is like a secret thing that we won't know until we get there. We'll choose one of them. And so forth till you get to the top. When somebody gets to the top, and then goes one more, they get to choose one of these and it triggers endgame. So that's how endgame is. So there's that first. Over here are goals for the end of the game. Roots on mushrooms with a color in their name. So if you played Earth enough, you know about colors in the name. So let's see if I even have any in my hand right now. I think suede counted for some reason. But we have this one here. Nope. I know we have one here. Yeah, this Scarlatina. Scarlatina is a color in this game. And golden. So those will count towards this. You see my opponent has 2 of them already. He's connected via roots. Total trees. So how many trees we have. And then this one's a weird one. It's move up the track each time you place 2 on a single type in 1 turn. So every time you do that, you gain this 2 victory points basically. So it's an ongoing thing. So some of these goals confuse me, but it is what it is. Yeah, number of times you place 2 roots on the same type of mushroom color. So they're talking about the yellow, the light green, the dark green, and the orange. In the same game turn. So we want to definitely put 2 colors next to each other so we can partner. But even if not, you don't have to put the roots on the same seedling. So when we have more seedlings out, you can like coordinate that better. All right, he's going to confirm his action. Now go into my second turn here. I'm sorry. So I went. I'm also going to put out roots. Very boring. I put out this one because it'll when we activate it, it gives a nitrogen, a potassium, and I think this is sodium. I don't know. I can't remember. I'm sorry. I'm drawing a blank of what the K's are. Like I knew what they were before this video, but now I'm just like, I can't remember. I'm a little bit scatterbrained, I guess, tonight. So we get pig's ears. So they don't really match any of the goals too much. Like I maybe could put it here, put a seedling here and try to connect roots to this, but that's like probably not what I want to do. I wonder if we go to next player's turn, if it'll work. Some of these games don't work with this. So my opponent did synthesize, which is this. So what this does is it gives you 2 carbon. He can then exchange nitrogen for carbon. And then any of his expended tokens, he gets to flip back over. So then you can also discard any mushrooms you don't like and draw new ones. So I like to activate, I think is what I do here. Yeah. I can activate one of these. So that's what I did. I activated this one here, which gave me another potassium, another K. Which is going to let me do more this turn before I hit photosynthesize, right? Like I try not to photosynthesize unless I have to, you know? Maybe that's a mistake. Maybe see how my opponent's building carbon up. I like to spend all my carbon and then do photosynthesis. That's how I played it. But so now I'm going to put a seedling out. So I'm also going to put out a mushroom. So I put this one up here. It says when you partner, place a second mushroom for free. I like this one because it lets me put out 2 mushrooms whenever I partner. So whenever I do this action, instead of just putting out 1 and paying an extra resource, I put out 2 and just pay 1 extra resource. So it's very efficient, right? Okay, so let's see here. So there's my seedling. So I put out my second one. Now, I didn't explain this. When I activated this card here and gained this, I actually we actually put a carbon on it from the supply, right? So that's how more carbon gets on these cards. Whenever they're activated, they get more carbon. Then you can absorb that carbon into your seedlings to make a tree. So it has a weird progression of how things are done. What do we get? We got a fat jack. Doesn't work with any of these goals, really. So let's see what happens. Mr. Myers taking their turn. They're doing absorb again. Now my turn's not over, so I'm going to be doing some things, right? I'm going to absorb, right? So I'm spending a nitrogen. I'm going to absorb here because I want my tree also. And I'll catch up with these. Like I'm just lagging a little bit behind because my opponent jumped out here. So they're doing photosynthesis again. They did barely anything and then they photosynthesized. Now I'm going to photosynthesize. And I'm going to get rid of some of these because I don't think they're useful. Or did I? Oh, I forgot the first turn to discard. It's because I'm still learning the game. Okay, my opponent, Mr. Meyer, they are going to. So they're absorbing. So they absorb their third carbon onto this seedling and it turns into a tree. So when you do that, turn anything into a tree, you actually score all the cards that you're touching with it. You don't need a root to it. So, which I forgot about. So I'm like building roots out of the same tree when I didn't need to. Okay, so what I did was... oh, it's still his turn. Wait, what? Oh. So I activated is what I did. So I activated this one. You'll see a carbon was put on it. I like this card because it gives me like all three. And you need like two of the P's and two of the K's to really do anything. So that gives me a good start. Okay, so Mr. Meyer, they're activating a mushroom. Okay, so they activated Woodland Lapita, which is, which one is that? I'm just trying to keep track of this. Also, you could only, wait, what? Oh, it's still, this isn't caught up with my actions. What's going on here? This is like not even moving. So it didn't show me his turn. Wow, that's messed up. All right, I chose this one, right? Because it gives me a P and a K. Now I have two Ks, two Ps. I can start doing things, right? Mr. Myers action. Activated this here, Pacific Golden Chanterelle, which gives them a P and a K and lets them flip over their orange token. Okay, I'm probably partnering, I think. I get to put out 2 mushrooms. Yep, there we go. So now I'm starting to connect to the collars, right? So you see me starting to catch up here. I have a 1 up here in this corner. Behind on trees, I'll fix that shortly. And I think I get a big lead in this one, actually. Okay, let's see what mushrooms we got. Panther cap, not really useful. Zellers, nope. No collars in those. So we're probably going to discard this time if I remember. I think I activate this one here, right? Yeah, I do. On my turn. So we're going to activate this mushroom, which gives me... or did I absorb? Oh, I did absorb. Okay. I think I wanted to spend this first. Okay, so now I'm connected to 2, just like my opponent. Both have 1 tree, so we're tied pretty much in that sense. And my opponent's not connected here, so I'm scoring both of these 4s, right? So that's a big thing for me. You'll see the scores right now. I'm behind, so my opponent's doing something good. I'm absorbing again here. And I absorbed from this one. well, one, there's no other ones here, but also I'm trying to take carbon away from my opponent. That's what I was learning in this fourth game. I can take carbon away from my opponent. So you'll see here I moved up to another bonus tile, right? Because I hit this one, I think I used it right away. So the bonus tiles I have, I can reset all my tokens here. I can get a nitrogen or I can get a victory point. Took the flip. Now there is one weird thing that I kind of didn't understand right away. So I did photosynthesis. I think once you activate one of these for the turn, even if I flip these back over, I can't activate these again, is what I think it is, but I'm not 100% sure. Maybe I was out of carbon. That could be another reason, because you run out of carbon pretty quick in this game. So we'll look at the cards I got here. So my opponent did another synthesize action, back-to-backs. So let me go through what I drew. So now I have a vermilion wax cap. Now that counts for the collar, right? Which is, you see that little circle symbol, says root on mushroom with a collar, and it has that circle. You'll see this has that circle up below its name on the right hand side. So that's how you tell if it will qualify. And I got this crested coral, which is not good. Coral. Because I thought coral would be like a collar, because I've heard of coral being a collar, but it's not. It's an animal name. There's a goal with animals. It's sort of like Earth, right? All right, let's see what I do here. I activate the woodland lapida again. Is that how you say it? Lapidella. Sorry, lapidella. See, now there's two here. So I want to put like a seedling over here somewhere where I can actually start using this carbon, right? And my opponent hasn't put out another seedling yet, which I think is really hurting them. You'll see I'm starting to come back already. I have 22, they have 29. I was down by 10. Now I'm down by 7, right? Okay. They photosynthesized again. I don't know if that's like a strategy where you get a bunch of carbon and then do a bunch of things in one turn, but I think 4 carbon's enough to do, like, you know, do this, activate, and then maybe absorb. So I don't know why they're doing that. So, but like I said, I'm new. I don't claim to be great at this game. In fact, I've lost the first 3 games, and this is the 4th game where I finally was starting to pick up on it. Okay, what do I do? I think I reproduce, right? Of course. Yeah. So I put a seedling down here. And I can start leeching off of these, right? Gooseberry doesn't qualify for anything. So you'll see I'm leading now in this one, because that was vermilion, right? So this is showing me all the mushrooms I can activate right now. So I really want to do this here so I can flip over my orange again and then activate this one here. So yep, that's what happened. Spent this one to activate that. Got a potassium and a... it's driving me nuts. I don't think it's sodium. I forget what it is. Um, and somebody will probably correct me because these are supposed to be, I guess, like based on the periodic table, but I'm not sure. Um, it's been so long since I've actually studied the periodic table, considering I love science and my brain's getting old now. All right, so yeah, that's what I did. I put this down here. I'm going to try to absorb some of these. I'll probably partner though first after activating this. Oh, I can't activate that. I'm out of carbon right now. Okay, so I need to photosynthesize. Now my opponent has 23 carbon. I don't know why they're doing that. And I'm 9 or 8 away still. Okay, my turn. Photosynthesize. Oh, I absorb. Okay, okay, I get it, I get it. I'm trying to finish this one up here. I'm trying to keep it away from my opponent. So when this was activated, I didn't want my opponent to like put a seedling here and start absorbing. For some reason, my opponent doesn't like to reproduce. Like, I think that's a basis of life, right? Okay, here we go. Okay, choose an action. You can activate a bonus style. Okay. Doesn't help me to do that. I canceled my move. What did I do here? Okay, yeah, I did photosynthesis. So I have 4 now. Okay, here we go. Let's see what my opponent does here. You see, I really caught up now. I'm only 4 away. And I'm way up here. Like, I'm close enough to hear where I might be the one triggering in game. So I activated this one again because I like this card because it gives me 1 of each. I'm probably going to do this one next. Now the problem with this one is I do give a K to my opponent when I trigger this, but I'm getting 3K in nitrogen, so yeah, let's see. Maybe this tells me what it is. Yeah, like I don't. Some of this stuff like tells you what it is. Like, sorry, I just want to see if I can figure out what K is. It's driving me nuts. Yeah, see, like it says gain 2 carbons, right? I thought maybe this would tell me like what it does, but it doesn't. It just shows you the symbols. Okay, whatever. I have to go back in the tutorial to find out what it is. Maybe I'll post it after I figure it out. Okay. He activated Earth Lover. What is that? Earth Lover. I'm assuming it's this one. Yeah, it's the basic starting one. This one lets you change a nitrogen, a potassium, and a K to whatever else. You know, it kind of like lets you swap around. So, and then it has something about carbon. So, yeah. So, all right, he activated it. Big deal. So I'm putting out a bunch of cards now. This is a Gooseberry Rosala, And I put out the crested coral because I still thought it was a collar at that time. So I didn't realize the symbols meant something until later. But now I have a black elfin saddle, which is going to work for me. Nothing. Short stem Rosala. That's nothing. So this one will give me another collar. So I could probably put it here. All right. Activated the painted. Where's the painted one? This one. So he activated this one. So he even has, although he has all this carbon, right? He has to activate a bunch of mushrooms to get anything that's useful on the other actions. So that's why I don't believe in building up a stockpile like this. I think it's a waste of time, you know, or I'm trying to actually score points and absorb carbon and all that other fun stuff. My opponent's messing around just building up carbon. All right, so I absorbed, made this a tree. So now I have 2 trees. My opponent has 1. Now I'll try to start absorbing these carbons down here. Okay. Activated the Pacific Golden, which is this one, right? So you got, there's a potassium and a K. So on my turn, activated the gooseberry, which gives me a bunch of nitrogen, right? So this is way more efficient than what my opponent was doing, because now I could, if I wanted to, I could photosynthesize and turn these all into carbon all at once, plus get 2 more. So like, yeah, I'm not sure what my opponent's plan was. We both were pretty new, I guess, you know, you could say that, but I had a few games under my belt to try to figure out strategies, you know. Place the seedling finally up here. Blood red cap or web cap. So that's another collar one. So we're tied again. That's fine because I'm going to place the seedling out. No, I don't. What did I do? Oh, I activated the Chanterelle. Where's that at? Pacific Golden Chanterelle. Oh, that's the same one here. So I activated this one. I think I wanted this K so I could put out more mushrooms. I think that's why I did it. Because I think if you're not putting out mushrooms, you're really like not being efficient, right? Okay. Okay, so they did the partner action. That's what they did. I wish it would tell me did partner action, you know? But it's not doing that. Okay, here we go. Oh, oh, I decided just to get carbon. Because I can just do this again, you know, next turn. It'll be fine. Because I could do this first, right? Which will use the gray, right? And then I could go, where is it? I thought I had one that flipped it back over. Here. Oh, nope, that's the wrong one. This one. This one will flip it back over. I just need to put a seedling over here. Okay. So my opponent absorbed again. So they took one here. Okay, let's see what I do. Should be like I activated the waxed vermilion. So this one. Okay. So I'm loaded up to do a bunch of actions, basically. See, now, if we look at my opponent, it spent so much time here, right? But look how much nitrogen they have. Like, they could have turned all this into carbon, basically. Okay, so they activated Earth Lover again, which is the middle one. Okay, so I decided to place 2 mushrooms and 2 roots. So I did the partner action. So I put this one here, brown elfin saddle and black elfin saddle. And I'm going to use this to catch up and pass, you know? All right. Yeah, so now they did that. They got rid of 2 carbon for 2 nitrogen for 2 carbon. So, but I believe in if you have nitrogen at the end of the turn, you dump it for carbon because carbon's way more important. It lets you do actions basically. So I did a seedling, like I said. I'm going to try to connect these. And I need to make a tree because I'm running out of seedlings. So I need seedlings put back. I'm also running out of roots. I only have 5 more roots here. So whatever I do, I need to make sure it's efficient enough to score me points. So it's saying I can flip these over if I want. I don't know if I do that or not. No. I'm saving it up. I probably go here. That's what I'm guessing, but I'm not sure. I do. So I activated this. Got a bunch of potassium. My opponent reproduces again. I think you really need to be working on reproducing, right? So the only reason why I'm not turning these into trees right now is if I do that, it's going to trigger endgame. So I'm trying to wait until I want to trigger the game, end of the game. So I definitely want to put out a few more seedlings and do all that fun stuff, right? Okay. See another seedling out. I'm now touching this one, which is Sunshine Amnitia or Amanita. Amanita. We're going to call it an Amanita. It's also another great one that gives me nitrogen, you know. So I think if you would like get both of these out early, like you wouldn't even need to worry about carbon the whole game. Now, I haven't played a game since this one, so I need to jump back in. It's just I get tired of the nature theme sometimes. Like, I play Arc Nova, I play Wingspan, I play blah, blah, blah. I don't play Earth anymore, but I used to. As soon as I found out Earth, all it is a race. You just plant, 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 plant over and over again. It's just not as fun, you know? At least not a competitive fashion. Now, if I'm going to sit down with my family and play, and it's more relaxed, then yeah, I think I would enjoy it more. Okay, so my opponent's catching up with me a little bit, so I did absorb right here. I'm probably going to absorb a few more times in a row to try to trigger the end game, because I think I actually have a good chance of winning all 3 of these. Yeah, I absorbed another one. So now what I really should have did is put a root here and here on the same turn, which would give me another one of these, right? Plus it would give me more color so I can take the lead here. So if I'm doing this right, I should partner, but I don't remember if I did. Oh, I did. Okay. So I put one here, brown elfin, and violet webcap. So these are the two I connected to again to put me over the top here. I'll absorb next turn, get a third tree. I'm going to win this basically, right? Which I don't even think this is really a race though. It's just every time you do it, you get a couple more victory points. So they're still activating mushrooms where I'm trying to like end the game here. Yeah, I don't think that was such a great idea. So here we go. Okay. Did I do carbon? Oh, I had to do it, I think. Because I was out of resources. So I had to do that so I can then trigger something and then I can absorb my last one. That's what's going on. Okay, right. Okay, activate a mushroom. So I activated this one. It's away from my opponent. I think in more advanced games, maybe you could like reach up to here and grab a carbon to prevent your opponent, or maybe they could grab your carbon, but I have so much carbon down here it's not really going to matter. I'm going to absorb here, right? I did not. I activated another one. What am I doing? I should have ended this. What I'm doing now is giving my opponent a chance to catch up, which I don't like. Don't like it at all. Yeah. Okay, you can see how bad I am at this game. Like, this is not how I should be playing. I should have ended it. I'm up to 50 points. That's great, but I think winning's more important if you're going to play a game like this. You shouldn't worry about trying to get a high score or anything else. Yeah, see, I'm giving him a chance to catch up. I don't like it. Doing some bad things here. Now, all I have to do is absorb. I guarantee you I don't. Put another seedling out and point it here. So I'm out of seedlings, out of roots. Like, what am I doing? I could have ended this game probably a turn ago. I lost 2 points somehow. How did I lose 2 points? I was at 50, right? Oh, I canceled my move and then, okay. So probably doing the move I was, it probably kicked me up to 50 and I canceled it and then it, so. Okay. What did I just do? Okay, I absorbed. It's a tree now. So I'm leading here, leading here, leading here. So no chance that I'm probably going to lose. So after you trigger endgame, each player gets another turn till they're equal. So since I went second, my opponent gets a turn, then I get one more turn. The problem is I really don't have much to do. So I just grabbed some resources. I think resources are 2 per. 1 point per every 2, I'm sorry. So I bumped it up to 8 here. So you see goal 1, I scored 9. Goal 2, I scored 4. Well, 3 I scored 4 because I did twice. Then here, what is this supposed to represent? Whatever it is, I scored 14 off of it. 10, 0, 11 for 35. Then my bonus tiles. And then this here is for your resources. Right? So I scored a 60, which from what I'm seeing is a little bit higher than normal. Like I see most games go into like the 50s. So yeah, another nature-themed game that I've been playing. So, as you can see, it's my World Series of Board Gaming Arc Nova t-shirt. But yeah, that's just another game of my first showing of this game, not my first game of it. So it's my impressions basically. So until next time, everybody keep on gaming. So if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave comments if you have any other suggestions on this game or other games you'd like to see on this channel. There's also a playlist on the left side of the screen that you can click to see other videos I have made. And until next time, keep on playing.